going to do a little bit of honey processing here. This is something new that I bought. It's a honey strainer. We got it on Amazon, and basically it's got a strainer at the top here that you put your. Which sounds like it's been a thunderstorm. But we have a strainer at the top that you squeeze and put your wax in and let it drip down through the bottom strainer. And this is made to go on top of a bucket or any kind of a thing that you can spread out and let it set. But we found a mixing bowl that it sets on perfectly. So I'm going to leave it here. And basically what it said to do was to chunk up the honey and squeeze it by hand. So I'm going to cut this up in little chunks, and Tina's going to start squeezing it. And basically what you're trying to do is just crush all the cells, and that way it'll drip out. Just squeeze it up the best you can. We've got some gloves here we're trying to use. Hopefully that'll make it work better. You can just squeeze it the best you can and just let it, crush it and let it set. Crush and strain, I think, is what they called this.
Here's the problem though. You need to pull my gloves back, they're falling down.
I guess a person might need tighter gloves. And then here's another chunk. Get that in there. This little bit of honey that we've got here is a little bit darker. The comb, again, like I said, is probably last year's comb, and as the comb ages, it kind of turns darker. So the honey may still actually be the same color as in this other comb, but the comb, it looks darker. Is that working or not?
It's working, but you almost need something like a ponytail holder or something around your wrist to hold that glove where you need it.
We got any rubber bands?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to stop real quick, get some rubber bands, and try to make these gloves stay on a little bit better. All right, we're back here, and got a little tape on the old gloves to keep them on her, and we'll just keep cutting this comb. And let her crush and strain it. Just squeeze it the best you can and let her sit there and drain, I guess. We tried this before with a little like a potato squeezer masher thing. It had some small holes, but it did squirt some of the wax through, and there was really no straining of that. But I thought this might be a better way to catch most of the wax that's left. Here you go. Is this honey almost, it looks a little bit darker here, but whenever you squeeze it, it looks pretty golden. This may not be the best way yet to do it, but that's what we're coming up with at the moment.
Don't put me anymore in the middle.
If you can see here, it is quite darker comb. I'm probably dripping on the floor. Really, processing this honey is very messy.
Don't know who's going to get to lick the gloves.
Yeah. We'll stop there a few minutes and let her finish squeezing, and we'll go ahead and get the rest of this comb squeezed out and let it start draining, and we'll work on the other comb there, and we'll tell you a little bit about it. So be back in a sec. Okay, we've been trying a few things here, and Tina, tell them what you think.
The older comb was harder, and so it was more productive to squeeze to get the honey out of it. When you squeeze this lighter colored comb, the new comb, it seems to kind of disintegrate, and it doesn't just squeeze out the honey like the darker comb did. So, I'm not so sure it works as well, the squeezing method, as it does with the older comb. But that's just my take on it.
And what she means here by newer comb is, if you noticed when we took these out, we had one bar of honey that was really light in color, and then one that was a little darker. This is the newer comb. It's just been freshly made within the last couple months. So it's a lot lighter in color, and it's also very soft. And this is considered comb honey, and that's is somewhat of a delicacy, they say, for people who want to take a bit of it and slice it and then put it on some toast with butter. It's okay to eat the wax. It's really actually kind of good for you, but the problem is it's still wax. So most people just would take a chunk of comb honey here and then chew on it and then spit out the wax. But out of this new piece of comb here, I cut a couple containers of comb honey, and then Tina's taking the rest of it and squeezing it and processing it here for what we're going to put into bottles here a little bit later. I'll go ahead and get this other one comb. Like we said again, it is very, very messy dealing with honey. But we have two nice little boxes of comb. What we're planning on doing is letting this here strain out. We'll let her finish squeezing it and try to get all of the honey off of this parchment paper and let it go through the filters. Again, it's a double set of screens here, so hopefully it'll be pretty clean honey by the time we get it ready to put in some bottles. So she says it's difficult, very difficult to get the honey off the gloves. Again, this is maybe not the perfect way to do it, but we're still trying to figure it out. I guess go ahead and cut that one while you're at it and we'll be done. You can tell here, this is really light golden honey. We're not in the light very good, but this is the springtime honey. It had a lot of early clover, autumn olive, honeysuckles, a lot of honeysuckle around here. So this is, to me, is some of the best tasting honey because it's such a golden light color. And they say as the summer goes on and the fall, if you would harvest some honey in the fall, it a lot of times is a lot darker honey, and depending on what they're eating. So we'll let Tina go ahead and squeeze the rest of this out. We'll clean this up, and as soon as all this is strained through, we'll try to take it out of here then and maybe try to bottle it in some little bottles that we have. If it doesn't look like it's going to strain through very good, I may even take the option of putting some saran wrap on it and sitting it out in the sun and letting the sun heat it up and maybe drain some more of the honey out of the wax. If not that, they say you can put it in the oven on low heat too, and just another way to let the honey melt and soften up and get out of the wax. So we'll see what we can do with that, and then we'll get back with you. So hang in there. All right, we've tried one, and that's what she's going to look like. The first one didn't spill, so we're going to just try to, we've strained all the honey down into this mixing bowl, and we're going to try to funnel it in now into these little bear containers. It's getting serious here, so I can't think and talk. Honey's kind of a slow moving process. I ended up, instead of setting this out in the sun and trying to get it to drain quicker, I ended up putting it in the oven on low heat for just a bit. And actually it didn't do too bad. And then kind of a little bit more.
Just a tiny bit.
Tiny bit. I think these little bears hold about 8 ounces of honey. So I thought they'd be nice little sampler packs to give to people and let them give them a try. These filters that we used, it did clean out all the wax pretty good. You might have a little speck or two in there, but that's probably good and good for you of whatever else is in the honey. How we doing?
That's good.
So I think what we'll do here is we'll finish processing these in the container drip and show you what the final product is and maybe give you an idea how much honey we got. You're so smart. Well, we did it. 2 pounds, 2 bars of honey. We figured made about 7.5 pounds here. Each of these is 8 ounces, and this is a pound each. So 7.5 pounds. That one comb we had wasn't fully filled, so that might have been a reason why we didn't get that last half pound. It wasn't completely finished all the way out to the end. So well pleased with it. This so far you've went with us from having 1 hive to catching a swarm to having 2 hives and everything in between, and now we're finally finished with processing some honey. So all we got to do now is do the cleanup and eat some honey. Maybe give some little bottles. These are pretty neat little bottles we got to maybe give out as some gifts. And anything else that you can say?
Yeah.
That's it in the top bar, simply top bar beekeeping, honey processing. So as time goes on, we've done about everything. I might still do a little something on some of the problems we have with the bees as far as beetles and moths, and maybe even show how to build a hive. But anyway, we thank you for watching. It's been fun. May do some more, may not, but I've enjoyed dealing with the bees and trying to share it with all of you out there. So again, once again, God bless. Have a good day, and see you next time.